Ayo, what's up? It's What's Up, Flobo, episode 110, I think. 110 of these things, man. We're rocking and rolling as always, right? This is just me hanging with you guys 2 times a week, Wednesdays and Friday mornings. I'm just saying what's going on my mind, in my dome, on my dome, whatever. Before I get into episode 110, we're talking about the whole job searching situation. Do me a favor and check out my Patreon, patreon.com/FlowBoys. And if you ever thought about streaming a show or have your own visual podcast, I suggest using StreamYard. It's something I do. I swear by it. I actually use it on all of my shows, sometimes even this one, where I can like change the colors and brands and get guests on the show. So do me a favor, go to StreamYard.com, use my promo code. It's in the description for a little bit of store credit that we can play around with the pro tiers and see what works for you. StreamYard.com, stream today. Now, everyone says this, but I'm going to be the one to tell it to you from my perspective. Job searching does suck, does it not? Like, let's be real. Now, I know you're probably saying, Flobito, you're rich and famous. You don't have that problem. And the answer is, yeah, I know, man. But back when I wasn't rich and famous, no, I'm serious. I'm not. And even then, when you are a working professional, even though my career path may be different than yours, it follows the same thing. You have to look for a job, you hear about a job being available, you apply for said job. In my case, I may have to audition, and then a decision is made. Whereas most brick and mortar jobs, most desk jobs are just apply, interview, cool. Look, whether it's the recession of 2009 or this global pandemic, the whole process of applying for a job is just makes you go whatever. I actually tweeted about this today, with the rise of cover letters and all that stuff. And I understand the employer's perspective. They want to make sure you're not a bot. They want to make sure you really care about the position. And they say, send us a cover letter of why you want this job. And it's like, come on, man. We all know your mind is already made up. We all know the cover letter is just to differentiate the data on the form. Well, a phone call would suffice if you really are that interested. And frankly, if I'm applying for a job to work for you, I'm applying to work for a lot of people. I don't have time to make custom cover letters. So do you want me to give you a generic one? Because that's not helpful either. You know, a couple jobs ago, I actually worked in a recruiting department for a big company, and they were saying, not a lot of people do their cover letters, and I get it. It's like, it just seems like a bunch of work. I have never been called into an interview before, and no one's ever like, you know what, man, we weren't going to hire you in there, but the cover letter was dope. Or what about the fact that there's like these two battles going on? One with making job applying as easy as possible. Click a link on LinkedIn or Indeed, instant apply, or hook your Google account and apply. And then there's weird old school apps that haven't died where you have to upload your resume and then type in every single thing you've done anyway. So how do you deal with that? Get up in the morning and being like, all right, I'm gonna look for work, man, because that's what they told me to do, because I'm an American, and they basically told me since I was a little kid that if you don't look for work, if you don't look for a job, you're not contributing to society, you should kill yourself. Okay, I'm applying for work. Wait, I gotta do 25 different cover letters. I have to give you 25 examples of a portfolio even before I get the call back. Look, employers, I get it. If you bring me in on the phone and you say, okay, this guy sounds legit, send me some of your stuff, Kev, we're interested. That makes sense. But I have to send you a cover letter. I have to send you references. I got to send you a portfolio of things I've ever done. I got to show you my baby photos. I got to show you that cool idea I had when I made my own ties out of pipe cleaner back when I was 10 years old. And for you to be like, nah, we're good. It's frustrating as hell. This is why people are always so upset. It's not even so much like, hey, man, this job wasn't for me. It was like they made me ran through all these hoops, and they still didn't give me the gig. That's right, Christy Head. She goes, it does suck. I'm going to tell you an example of a recent company I applied for during the pandemic. I won't even name them because it's kind of lame. So what they did was this. It was a media company. It was a producer role. And most media production roles have you basically shepherd your entire idea. You pitch an idea for an article or a video, you shoot it, you write it, you cut it, you basically star in it, and you upload it. Okay, cool. So I applied. I got a phone call back. Hey, look, do me a favor, fill out this assessment. So I got to prove that I'm intelligent enough to do your job. Okay, fine. I think it's dumb. I think it's kind of insulting sometimes because I can sit there and say, bro, I got an IQ of 139, 2 college degrees, no criminal record. I'm already a unicorn, but I supply for it. Hey, assessment was great. Let's have a phone call. Okay, had the phone call. Then it was like, hey, listen, before we have our second phone call, we do these things with our new talent where we give you an idea and you write a couple of articles and pitch an idea of how you would market this idea. Now, I understand this is a dummy situation because my ideas would not be used commercially, but it's essentially working for free. It's an audition, but you're basically doing the work for them, right? So they can take your ideas, extract your ideas to the next project for absolutely free. So I did it anyway, because like most people, having steady income is great. I like it. It's cool. Submitted it. The idea was rejected, and the whole process stopped right there. Not even a thanks for your time. Not even maybe we should work on something else. Now I've done this my entire adult life. I went from film school. I was unemployed for a bit, and I did the whole office job, bounce around. Now I'm self-employed. I am a business person. What's up, Charlene? It kind of like I found a way to navigate the rocky seas. A little bit of help, a lot of help from my extended network for advice, for financial ideas, for ways to monetize what I'm doing. But for someone out of school, someone that was told when they were a kid, don't go out there and party with those people over there because it's not going to amount to anything. You stay home and you study and get good grades. And you do. And they said, if you don't get good grades, you'll be out there flipping burgers. Because apparently we always say flipping burgers is the worst job on the planet, which it really isn't because burgers are tasty. I can imagine how despondent you would be when you're like, really? You're not hiring me because of this? And plus, it messes with your psyche, too. You're like, well, maybe they're not hiring me because I'm black. Maybe if I had a disability, I would say maybe they're not hiring me because I'm disabled. You know what I mean? Or I don't think you say disabled anymore. Differently abled, right? It totally weighs in your psyche. You go on TV and someone goes, if you don't got a job, it's because you're lazy. Like, I can imagine if you took a survey, a census, if you will, people aren't just happy. People are not happy with what the situation is. You know what I'm saying? So Charlene Cernago's asking, I arrived late. What type of jobs are you searching for? It's kind of in general. It doesn't necessarily matter. For me personally, it's marketing jobs, content jobs, hosting gigs. But I think this discussion is really more about the process in general. You know what I'm saying? It's really more about how the process of it could be as simple as giving a resume to an email address. But no, there are sites and assessments and auditions virtually, electronically, that like are just doing nothing but adding more gates to people who could be fantastic for the role, but are being weeded out by algorithms. And yet on top of that, you're supposed to treat every job as if it's unique and use cover letters because this is the only job I'm applying for, or give you a portfolio of my 25 best hits because this is the only job I'm applying for, when actually it's like pretty rough. So I'm going to say from the bottom of my heart, man, I hear you, even if you're not in the entertainment space, because hosting gigs are a little different. You got to show a reel. You got to show how you can do it. Radio is a little different. You do little air checks, but it's the same thing. You got to give people proof that you've done it before, that they give you a shot. That's okay. But if you're going to do that, don't give me a bunch of applications like I'm applying for a job at the Dairy Queen over summer break. Which one is it, world? Which one is it? It's What's Up Flobo, episode 110. Thank you so much for checking out this episode and all the other episodes. Do yourself a favor. If you want to support the homie, you can in two ways: buy a t-shirt, a mug, or a face mask at flobito.threadless.com. That's flobito.threadless.com. And if you want to check out the Patreon, where bonus content lives, we're talking extra episodes, cool videos, and photo galleries. This month, I do a little bit of a throwback when I went to go visit my mom in the West Indies. Check it out at patreon.com/Flobo Boys. Appreciate you guys all. I'll be back here for this show on Wednesday. But What's Up Flobo After Hours, the late night talk show you didn't think you cared about, airs every Monday night on Twitch, on Facebook, and right here on YouTube. Until then, please enjoy your weekend. It's Labor Day weekend. Have some fun. Be safe. Wash your hands. Wash your face. Wear a mask. Do all that stuff. And if you ever find yourself applying for a job and you're like, oh, why are they doing this? No, you're not alone.